Hey yo, what's up y'all? It's Jack back again and I'm going to do another unwanted advice from Reddit. Okay, let's jump right into this. Friend, 27-year-old female, demands I say certain things. Hey guys, so basically I, 27-year-old female, have this best friend, 27-year-old female. We've been friends for like 20 years and our parents are friends and everything too. What? And everything too. So she's really ingrained in my life. I love her, but she's constantly putting me on the spot, trying to demand me to say certain things to reassure her. Okay. Like, for instance, she was going out with this one guy for a while, and he nagged her to have sex. And she finally gave in and said yes. Then he rejected her the next day, and she demanded me to say that the guy assaulted her when I don't really consider that assault. You shouldn't consider that assault because it's not. She was like crying, and I was like, I just keep invalidating myself and doubting myself that it was really assault. It's my biggest fear, and it wasn't really assaulted. And I wasn't really assaulted and made it all up. I would have PTSD if I found out it was considered assault. So he assaulted me. You promised me, right? Okay, so that was kind of a jacked up sentence. Her friend is basically trying to guilt her into saying, hey, my boyfriend, you agree that he assaulted me, right? Please tell me I have PTSD. He assaulted me, right? Am I right? Am I right? That's what's going on here. And she put me in the spot on the phone with her crying and basically threatening her well-being if I don't say it was assault. It's like holding a gun to my head almost. They being a little dramatic, but I know if I said no, she blamed me for giving her PTSD and invalidating her or something. Let me stop there for a second. Remember we talked about this in previous videos that some people will sit up here and use mental illness as excuse to be bad people. PTSD. Come on now. I don't care what you got. You still know the difference between lying and telling the truth. This is a Christian-based channel. So God said, do not lie. Do not bear false witness against somebody else. I don't care what you got or what excuse you got for not telling the truth. You need to tell the truth. People always act like it's some circumstance that makes them different from somebody else. You're no different. If you sin, it doesn't matter what your reasoning is for sinning. You still got to answer to God for that. People talk about PTSD. Guess what? I've had PTSD in the past. Real PTSD. So when people bring up this, oh, my past and my life is so hard, I'll be looking at them like, God don't give me no excuse for doing what's wrong. I still got to answer to him even though my life hasn't been all that easy. So you think you get an excuse? Okay. See, I'm going off on a tangent. Let me keep going. She also forces me to compliment her and will call me and be like, call me pretty. I'm pretty, promise. Say details. I need more. Keep it coming. Forcing me to write long paragraphs to reassure her. What? What type of friendship is this? Are you serious? This is your friend? You need to redefine friend. This is more like a master and you are a puppet. Do you understand that? This is not your friend. And the fact that you would let this go on for so long shows a problem with you. It always comes back to you. That's one thing you'll see when I speak. The responsibility is always on the person that is in control of themselves. If I was talking to the girl who was asking for all these crazy demands, I would ask her what she's doing wrong. Since I'm talking about the person who's writing this, which is the person who gave in to all her friends' demands, I need to ask her what she did wrong. It always should come back to you, and that's a lesson for life. If you are always looking at life as somebody else is the problem, somebody is the cause of all my issues. That's why I hate this this white privilege mentality thing. Of white people are the problem with all the things in the world that went wrong. White people are at the center of it. No, you are at the center of your own problems. God, when you come before the throne, is going to ask you what you did, not what everybody else did. So this blame mentality that people have, it doesn't work. It just makes your life worse. Because meanwhile, while you blaming A, B, C, and D, and all these people over here, and this people group over here, and the governmental system over here, your life is still crap. You gotta fix you. All right. Here's the next paragraph. Am I dumb for going along with this? Yes, you are. But I don't know. She gets so mad and freaks out so much otherwise, and I don't know what else to do. Be a grown person. Set boundaries. It's just our dynamic that I'm used to. I even tried sending her an article about how reassurance actually makes anxiety worse, and she brushed it off and said, "It doesn't for me, it makes me so much better. So thank you so much for doing that all the time. That's why you're such a good friend." So this person is manipulating you, and you allowing yourself to be manipulated. In the church, this happens a lot. You ask who's to blame, right? When you have a false teacher in the church, and you say, okay, you got false teacher, well, who's to blame? The false teacher or the people being misled? Both. Both are. Because the people being misled, in today's day and age, you have the Bible to read for yourself. You have the truth you can examine for yourself. You can study on your own, and then you go to church, and you also you level up based on what the teachers do, and you also come together and worship and do all those things. But if you're being misled by a false teacher, that means you haven't been studying your word good enough to know that they're teaching falsities. If the false teacher is misleading people, he also is going to answer to God for what he's doing. It's both. So in this situation, you got these two girls. One is manipulating the other one. The other one is enabling the other one. So they're both in the wrong. They both they're not innocent in this. The one this is the other thing. She presented an article to her friend to try to say, look, this article says what you're doing is wrong and going to lead to, bad results for you. How about this? Stop trying to get other people to make the argument for you and make the argument for yourself. Say, what we're doing is unhealthy. I want nothing to do with it. What you're asking me to do is wrong. You asked me to lie. And I'm not going to do that anymore. And I'll give you a chance. We'll be friends. But if you ask me to do that again, I'm going to cut you off. People don't want to be bold like that anymore because they don't have the guts to do it. That's called being a grown man or a grown woman. Keeping people around you that are bad. People say toxic. I hate the word toxic. People around you that are bad and people that are good. Keep good people around you. Keep bad people away from you. It's as simple as that. Last paragraph. At this point, it's exhausting to me and really causing me immense anxiety. Who gives a crap about your anxiety? Just do what's right. People talk about this anxiety and PTSD and I'm having a traumatic and I'm triggered and all this crap. Who cares about that crap? No one cares that you have anxiety. No one does. We pretend like we do, but we really don't. I can go around and say, I have anxiety, and I'm triggered, and this and that. Guess what? No one really cares. People pretend they do, but in reality, when you go home and you go to sleep at night, and your friends go home and they go, no one cares that you have anxiety. All we care about is the results. Are you going to do what's right? That's it. So much flour and bubbles and gooey stuff. No one cares about all those big words. Triggers my anxiety because I feel like I'm a talking parrot or something, just being demanded to repeat things back to her that she wants to hear. Because before she asks my opinion, there's basically a gun to my head or a threat of some sort that if I express opposing opinions, she'll fly off the handle. I don't know how, but all I know is this dynamic needs to end. Any ideas? Okay, this is a big topic in today's day and age. And there's two things I want to address. First, this idea that friends have to agree with everything you say. that you can't be friends, it's actually the opposite. Did you know that? Did you know that? A friend is going to tell you when you're wrong and still love you. A friend is going to say, hey, man, I disagree. I still love you. I'm still with you, but I disagree. You're going down the wrong path. A person that hates you is going to be like, yeah, keep going, knowing that it's to your detriment. That's not your friend. A person that's not your friend is going to say, I'll just tell him what he wants to hear, even though it leads to his own destruction. That's not your friend. We got to stop this in this society of wokeness and this society of being politically correct, that you got to agree with everything your friends say. That's trash. That is actually leading people down to make really bad friends and make really bad life choices. Second thing, and this is almost more important. Your friend calls you, and say if this went to the legal route or the criminal route, your friend pretty much led you to lie on a man and claim that he sexually assaulted her when she know that that's not the case. That is beyond wrong, because you sat there and you know this man didn't do anything wrong, but you are willing to uphold a lie that could ruin his life. Even when he gets out of jail, if this was to go the criminal route, he would have to register as a sex offender for the rest of his life, because your friend wanted to feel good. And you were sitting over here asking for advice in a selfish way, like, well, I have so much anxiety. What about the life she about to ruin? She about to ruin this man's life, claiming that he sexually assaulted her. And you cool with that. You were just going to go along with it because she bullied you into it? Stand up. Have some boundaries. Say what's right and what's wrong. This is our problem in this society. People just so weak. Yeah, I go along with it because she's pushing me really hard and I don't know what to do. How about you stand up and do what's right? What if somebody did that to your father or your brother and had a friend say that they were sexually assaulted even though it never happened? Think of what that could do to somebody's life. And you okay with that? Because the longer you stay friends with somebody like that, you should have cut the friendship off right there. Because if she could do that to him, she can do that to you. You're not safe because you're a female. Do not think that somebody who lied on somebody else to get what they want will not lie on you. And that's a lesson for life. I'll tell you this. The best thing is the same thing that God has said from the beginning. Just tell the truth. No matter how hard it is, tell the truth. It's even in the long term, it will always be better than telling a lie.